Welcome back to my channel, ASMR Storytime. Today's original ASMR Creepypasta story is called Thirst. Sylvia had 7 rules that she always adhered to. 1. Never kiss on the first date. 2. Never date at night. 3. Don't wear red on any dates. 4. Never let him drive you home. 5. Never let him introduce you to the family. 6. Never invite him to the castle. 7. Never fall in love. These rules were in place for a reason, and she followed them to the T. For she learned from her past mistakes the consequences of breaking even one of these rules, and she would not repeat that again. She slipped out of her red silk robe and into the hot bath, laced with rose petals and herbs. She poured a cup of lavender bath salt into the water and sank back into the tub. There was a soft knock at the door. "Milady, will you be dining in or out tonight?" came Madeline's voice from the other side of the door. Madeline was her maid servant. She'd been with her for centuries. Faithful, loyal, beautiful. They don't make them like that anymore. "Out," she replied, sinking deeper into the hot bath. She let her mind drift to the past when the hunt was fun and the thirst was alive. She missed how her creed would feed on the outer borders of the village, killing only the pirates, bandits, and hardcore outlaws that were a danger to society and to themselves. Those days were long gone, along with her creed, who fled to the outer ends of the earth to escape the dark creed who took control of the land many, many years ago, ravishing anyone or anything that stood in their way. She stepped out of the tub, blew the candles out that were placed around the tub and on top of the sink. She never liked to leave fire burning in the castle, for the castle was old, well kept, but she didn't like taking any chances. She rubbed the jasmine lotion all over her body and sprayed heavenly perfume that she brought from France many years ago. She grabbed the towel to dry her long golden hair. It was kind of strange that she was the only vampire she knew with this color hair. Most of the elders and the others had black hair or reddish auburn hair from what she could remember. She never knew her parents, but she was told that her mother was turned, and that's why she had golden hair. But she never believed that story, and coming from Lucas, how could she take his word for it? He's been trying to take her place on the council ever since she was appointed. She strolled into the bedroom, which was adorned with old paintings from her travels. She loved these treasures because it reminded her of her family's legacy. She wondered if she loved the past more than the present. The past was much more fun. She went into her large walk-in closet and picked out a deep red satin dress. For tonight was all about the hunt. She loved to hunt in style. She slipped on the red satin dress and red pumps. She brushed her long golden hair, grabbed her purse, and was out the door. She jumped into the car and stepped on the gas. She was getting real hungry since it had been about a week since she consumed. The thirst was returning. She pulled into the parking lot of Blue Rose, a vampire haven and pub where most younger generation vampires hung out, as well as the humans sacrificing their blood and sometimes their lives with the hopes of being turned. Some vampires took full advantage of these desperate beings, dreaming of immortality and power. They fed off of them for years before eventually killing them and acquiring another pet looking to be turned. Some humans would do anything for their vampire masters, even sell out their own kind. They cared nothing about their species, only the promise of power and immortality. They thought this was a good thing. Boy, were they wrong. She parked the car and entered the venue. Taking a look around, she slowly made her way to the bar. She ordered her usual potion, which was a special blend of herbs and natural liqueur, made by the bartender especially for her. And of course, he threw in the usual potion of blood, AB positive, AB negative, and sometimes a rare blood type only found in one small village to the east of these mountains. As she sipped the concoction, the thirst grew stronger. She looked around the pub for a daring loner that dared to venture into the pub alone, looking for the thrill of finding a master who would be willing to turn them, if not kill them on sight. "Looking for me?" came a voice to her left. She smelt him way before he approached, but thought nothing of it. The smell of his cologne nauseated her. It was the same cologne Timothy wore the night she accidentally killed him. How could a smell she used to absolutely love completely make her want to puke? It was the memories that came along with the smell that made her sick to her stomach. She turned to face the handsome stranger sitting on the bar stool next to her. The stranger was well-dressed and very handsome, a businessman of sorts. He'll do for a one-off, since the thirst was getting stronger. She decided to take him to the top of the countryside so she could dump the body in the river when she was done with him. After finishing her drink and paying the bartender, she left with the stranger. She learned that his name was Bishop. He was a talker, and she really couldn't bother with too much conversation right now. She just wanted to quench the thirst and head back home, because there was a council meeting later tonight, and she needed to change clothes and prepare her notes of the latest findings for the council members. After tossing the lifeless body over the edge of the cliff, she walked back a few meters to her car and started the gas. She sat thinking for a few minutes before taking off. There have been a number of disturbing events lately, and the council was trying to put the pieces together. They needed to find out what exactly was going on and who was behind it. They suspected it was the Dark Ones, but the nature of the attacks were different than the others. This was not their usual MO. These attacks were less messy, and not a drop of blood was visibly left. Not in the victim, on the clothing, or the surroundings. It was as if the victims had been drained with something other than fangs. She pulled off and headed home when a winged creature flew past the front of her car. She swerved to the left to avert a crash, thinking it was maybe a large owl or fruit bat, as they were known to be quite large and quite common in this area. The creature quickly flew in front of the car again. This time she saw his eyes. Those were not the eyes of a bird, for those were the eyes of a creature she had only heard about but never seen before. She didn't even know that they still existed. She stepped on the gas, anxious to get to the council to report what she had just seen. No time to go home and change right now. She headed towards the hillside and around the bend, taking the short way through the mountains to their headquarters. She had to notify the council immediately of what she had seen. For life as they knew it was about to take a drastic change. Hopefully not for the worst. Thank you for joining me for today's story, Thirst. Tune in next time for part 2. may like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more ASMR story time and creepypasta.